Hey there, how's everyone doing today? Hope it's a good one. Well, that didn't sound great. Sounded a little ominous to me. Thank you guys for being here. Ooh, I need my cuter emotes. There we go. Hope everyone's having a really good day. So I'm thinking today what we're gonna do. First we gotta head over to the tent. And then... Ooh, the number one fan is here. Thank you, thank you. And, yep, thank you, EJ Dalton. Yep. I hear a witch. Huh. So we're gonna head over to Festivale, the Ville of Festivals, Village of Festivals, the Festivale, over to the spring area. We made this gate on stream probably like a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And I actually really think this area is coming along. I really like this view right here. Super cute. Especially when the bees come out. Hang on, I'll stand around and wait. Hopefully it won't take too long. It's such a mood, such a vibe. I hear them. Hello? Gonna show the people, show the audience. Slime Army, what you up to? I just complimented you. I promise it's super cute. I promise. Hello? Okay, well maybe I'll show you guys a little. Oh. Yeah. Is it worth it? I think it was worth it. Especially when there's 2 or 3 flying around. Anyways, I thought that was cute. Really? Fine, whatever. So, we're gonna go over to the temple. And today's stream's probably gonna be relatively short. Got some stuff I gotta do tonight. But I wanted to get a glimpse at the temple from here, because after we built it, I realized there's a great view from here. Well, I mean, it's kind of in the distance, but I think it's really cute. Hop over this fallen log, and there's another pretty good view over here somewhere. Maybe it was over here. Oh no, I remember. It's over in the village. Right here. Yeah. Isn't that cute? So let me get up in the air. See how these are kind of textured with skulk and amethyst and just different pink shades? It's kind of wanting to do the same here and get this thing a little more lively. So I think what I'll do is I'll just kind of copy this palette with the cherry stuff, maybe the terracotta and the concrete. Probably need this and this. I think I have quite a few blocks in here actually. We might have to do a couple passes to get it all. So the first thing I actually need to do is just turn it different shades of pink, and then what I usually do is come through and make blotches of the skulk. So let's just grab all the pink stuff first. Is that all of it? Possibly. I feel like I'm missing something though. And then if we really wanted to, instead of having this, what we can do is just grab the more solid blocks. Yeah. Seems good to me. And I did these sometime last year or maybe even the year before, really. So I kind of forgot exactly the layout of it. It looks like it goes from logs to planks to concrete to terracotta, maybe. We'll just play around with it. And if it ends up completely unique, that's okay. It's the temple. One moment. Gotta change my category. Forgot that the last stream was an art stream. Boom, now we're in Minecraft. Look at that. Look at that. There we go. See if it changed over on the stream. It sure did. Nice. Okay. So I'm thinking kind of want a bright spot in the corner. Maybe have it kind of coming over this way a little. Surrounded by these. And a couple of various textures. And then I think I'll probably like this a little bit. So it's like desaturating as it goes away. There we go. And oh, the planks, that's what I was missing. Just scooch everything over. There we go. I think that I'll wait to put the signs on, but this is kind of what we're going for, little blotches like this. So really I just need to pick where I want the saturated points. And the idea behind this was it was kind of like being taken over by the skulk and amethyst. So I'm just gonna kind of make it like a spreading shape. Sort of like that. Like a blob, like it's starting to just ooze. And then, excuse me, I'll bring a couple more of these in, plop a few different sides. Boom. There we go. That looks pretty good. Maybe I don't really like this one for some reason, or is it this? This area seems a little strange, so I'm just gonna try to add in a little more texture here. Yeah, that's better. We'll bring this around. Maybe bring it down a little. Oh. Something like that, and then bring a little bit Yeah, that's a pretty big blob. It's nice, it's nice. And I don't think I want anything really in here. That'll be good for like the skulk and amethyst to seep into. And who is this? EJ Dalton with the Snail Rider up here. Let's see, do we want a blob in this corner again? So it's like really taking over the spot. I don't want it necessarily symmetrical, but maybe if we do it kind of in the same spot, but a little bit different. Like this. Bring it down a little more maybe. Pop a few of the glazed back in. Trying to really pick a few different sides. There, something like that. I feel like this needs one more. And yeah, there we go. Then I think what I'll do is try not to mess the snail up. So I'm gonna just do this. Really bring this log out this way. Excuse me. We'll kind of just play around with it until we like it. Something like that. And honestly, I could be showing the log's rounded side, given one more texture. Like, what if we did? It's gonna. Oh, okay. I see why I'm not doing it. It would only really work in certain spots without being annoying. Do I like that though? Kinda. Maybe we can just dot them in where they can opportunistically exist. See if there's any spots over here that would allow for it. That one does not. This one would though. This one would. Maybe even here. I think I like that better. There we go. Already looking pretty cute. Kind of feel like this is a little bit too straight of a line. So what I'm going to do is just kind of bump some of it out. And now it's still too straight, but from this thing's perspective, so let's just put the plank back. That seems a little better to me. And I don't really want to do here because I did it over here. So maybe we can just sort of make it go over this little ledge, like so. Let's just see what this looks like from the front. It's gonna be kind of hard to see anyways because of the snail, so it's not like it matters as much. But I definitely think that would work out well. And we bring it over just a little right here. And now we're getting into this thing's territory. So what I usually do is concrete touches terracotta, terracotta touches log, log touches plank. And if you do that this way, concrete touches terracotta, terracotta touches log. So these two can seep together as long as it's not out of order. Let's see, terracotta needs to touch log, so this will have to shift now once I get the rest of the terracotta in. I think this is working. Maybe one more here. Welcome in. Hello, Nisi. Hope you're having a good day. This seems a little matchy, so we'll just do that. Maybe pop one in here. Kind of feel like one of these needs to be concrete. There we go. Now, time for the log. Really? Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Maybe I can reach this if I just do that. Probably just get rid of this single plank that you can't really see anyways. Hey, excuse me. I'll bring that down a little. Thinking that maybe I can do some of the log up through here. As long as it's touching the terracotta. We can still keep planks there. And that's that. Now over here, it should be slightly easier because we're just going to add this in. Maybe pop it down here. Add a little more here, a little more there. Try not to keep this too straight through here. Yeah. Pop a log or two in here. Yeah, there we go. Maybe one more here. Something about this corner, so maybe just extend all these out by one. And now this seems a little different, so let's just do that. And I feel like this terracotta line might be a little too straight, so let's just do this a little bit. Do that. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Much better. Let's see. If well, these are all kind of like super matchy. If I could just throw in one that doesn't match. What the heck? Oh, they don't match. It's just very similar. Maybe from up here. There we go. Now I think here we should do a big blob right here. Because remember, the Skulk and Amethyst are going to be taking this over, so I want a big corrupted spot here. One moment. By the time this expands out to the rest, that would probably be big enough, but I kind of want to just really go for it and see what that looks like and just bring it over a little more. Like that. Pop that in. Pop that in. Do a thin layer of the glazed terracotta real quick, and then we'll see where we need to change it up. Like that. That's pretty good. I think what I want to do is just go ahead and throw some of these in, and then we'll really just get a good feel for it. I don't want it to go too far, but I do want it looking like it's really taking off over here. Maybe just go ahead and get rid of the planks here. Something like that. Yeah. Maybe like the tiniest little bit here. Like just 3. Something like that. Perfect. And I kind of feel like I want to change something here. And it doesn't have to go all the way through all of it. Maybe if we just do that. As if it's coming from this area. Yeah, there we go. Maybe like... maybe if we extend this to this side also, maybe that could work. Just sort of mimic it over here, not necessarily keeping the exact same texture, but general size wouldn't be bad. I kind of want it to ooze out this way, then add some of these in. You guys know the drill. Something like that. It's not too bad. Maybe that's just kind of meet in the middle here. We could definitely go for another one over here. I was thinking for a second to maybe make it a little less on the side, but let's just go for it. There we go. Yeah, let's have it like come up and over and then wrap this side maybe. Something like that. And then just have it come this way too. Is this missing? This might be missing a block. No? Well, it could be overall anyways. Do we think it needs a stone across the top? Or does that mess up that a little too much? Maybe that. We'll do the same thing here. Just bring this across. Pop this up one. Fill this in. There we go. So this is still going up and over. It's just going through a little bit now. So let's kind of blob it out here. Yeah, like that. Okay. And then the terracotta. Just got to remember to always sort of shift sides so it doesn't look too matchy. And I really like this terracotta. It really reminds me of the cherry leaves. little thick. Maybe we'll trim it up a little in a minute. I keep getting very ominous sounds from this temple. Maybe it knows the skulk's coming. Like, oh, forgot a spot. Like that maybe? I like how thin that is. This side's a little thick. Which isn't bad, this texture is so much that I kind of like to keep it a little thinner. And then the logs can really be as thick as I want. Something like that. Let's bring it down to this side, pop a log that way. All we can. This is my jam. And for those who don't know, that's actually a very own member of their server here singing that. Our Gilded Bedrock theme. Yeah, something like that. Bring it down here a little. And this song, a lot of the songs that play are actually a fellow streamer, Music Man 1017, I believe. He's a really cool guy. There we go. Okay, so let's try it over here. Kind of want it up a little because I tend to go down into the corner. Something like that. I think would work out just fine. Let's go ahead and get this log. Maybe kind of just drip down this way. Like that. Needs a little bit more right here. Maybe a little here and here. That looks pretty good. I kind of want to do this too since that's such a light texture on the side, but that's going to make me need to do that. Maybe even that. I think that works out pretty well. Looks like we have another snail rider in here. Also EJ Dalton. I think I went too far with it. A skeleton? Get out of here. Probably need to light this up. And I may just go ahead and get rid of this. It originally had a flying island here that I was trying to work in, but I don't think I like it anymore. And so you were going to be able to get up here through these vines. It was a whole thing. I don't think I've mentioned it, but this area was meant to be like a spring festival area. Festivale is broken up into the 4 seasons. This is the spring area, so I was doing like Easter egg hunts over here. And when it was the flying island, this was a great spot to hide it. But now, not so much. So let's just break that. Yeah, I cleaned it up a lot. Oh, this is also a bop. Yeah. Let's see. Pop some this way. Let's see, where do we really want to go here? Thinking maybe let's go for like, do we want to try a heart? Is that ridiculous? I kind of want to just see what that looks like, since it is the spring area. Get out of here, zombie. Ruining the vibe. Actually, that might work out pretty well. Oops. Kind of cute. Okay, so let's saturate it in the middle. That's actually pretty cute. I don't know if I'm gonna like it forever, but for now I do. So let's just pop this in. Ominous noise again at the temple. I really need some lights. Apparently. I've been playing so much of Java, I was like, oh yeah, I'll just, you know, check it with the mini HUD. No, I won't. Not over here, I won't. Maybe I should have popped the heart up one. It's not too late. Let's just try that out. And then most of this will also have to be broken. Like so. Probably need a little bit here. Why does it feel like it needs to be a little thicker? Like that. And then maybe that? Yeah, okay. I think I like it again. Something about moving it up changed the angle or something, and it didn't look like a heart to me anymore. And I think these terracotta, let's just get out of the heart shape a little bit, and some of these blobs can be expanded over a little bit more. Not too much though, because I don't want tons of this texture. But then the log can come in and really do the work. Do I like this? Don't tell me I don't like it. Let me see. Let's get a little further in before we make any decisions. Maybe if it were like desaturating in the middle. I don't like it. Something about it is weird. Maybe it's the terracotta. Yeah, maybe it was the terracotta. Especially this like super straight line that it makes, but it can't really do much about it. Let's just do like 2 spots like that, just to break it up a little. So we got this one up here, and then that one down there. Maybe 3 spots at that double up. I gotta be honest, guys. I don't like that as much. I think it's the super straight angles. What if it's just vaguely a heart? Like... Okay, vaguely a heart is already better. I'll just leave it like that. And then get over to here. Bring this over. And we'll grab the logs, just do the same. Now this line's a little straight, so let's just pop it out. Yeah, there we go. And I think since this is so big, let's just kind of do a small thing here. Something like that. And let's just bring this over. 2 matchy. There we go. Maybe 1 more here, and then we'll do the logs. There we go. How do we like that? I think it needs to go up right into here for some reason. Maybe like that. And those are actually so close, I probably could let them kind of interact. Let's see if I like that. I think I liked it a little better the other way. So we'll just put those back. Yeah, something like that. And then from a distance, I'm hoping that that heart really shows up. It's a vague heart. It's fine. Even though this is the front, you see it from over there first. Ugh. Why are these guys so annoying? I had a command on to kill them, but... sorry for the super uncozy vibe with the llama being punched. I think the lower level is pretty much done with the pink. Let's go up to the next level now. And I think since we've got it here and here, let's kind of meet in the middle here. And we'll just kind of do this number. Maybe with a little bit of this. Like that, and just kind of keep the pattern going. We can go ahead and add this login. This dude's gonna have to get out of here. I can't stand these guys. Yep. Get out of here. Just leave. Okay, he left. He caught a cab and he left. Caught an Uber. Thank you, Nisi. Oh, hi. Welcome in, Heather. How you doing? We are just sort of texturing the roof of this temple in my spring festival area. It's where we do like a season themed builds, and currently I'm in the spring area. We've got this like this style going on with like blue houses, and then we got some pink houses, and right now I'm just trying to get the roof of the temple kind of matching these. That's good. Glad things are going okay. So, how are we feeling about this? I need another log for sure. In the edges. There we go. Ooh. I'm assuming mine evolved stables? I think the ones on Husky SMP were completely done already. I'll need to start eventually streaming from both of those. That seems fun. Actually, Heather, you've made it for my first voice stream. I just sort of tested it out 2 weeks ago, I think it was now. And this will be my first official voice stream. Yeah. Ooh, thank you, Nisi. Thank you. Very nice. Very nice. That means a lot. Oh, on Husky? Okay. Thank you so much, Nisi, for 14 months. Wow, okay. Crazy. I'll have to come check it out. I might be able to hop on for a moment after stream before I get ready. Like I was saying yesterday, though, I won't be able to talk at all this weekend probably. But I might have a couple minutes if you want to show me around. Oh,
Sweet.
thank you, Nisi. I'll get your gift started, and then at the end of spring, we'll open them up and see what everyone got. I think you might already have one. So, let's see. What color have I not used? I don't think I've done cyan. And hopefully you get something good. Let's see, who all do we have? We've got W, EJ Dalton, Nisi, and Care Bear. Quite a few of them piling up. Okie dokie, Heather. Oh, probably like that. And it's kind of cramped up there. I don't want to go overboard. I just feel like maybe some of the plank texture needs to stay up here. So let's just barely have anything going on. Maybe like that, sort of. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's try that. And what does that do over here? See, now this isn't touching the right block. So what I like to do there is just meet in the middle. That'll force this to be terracotta. There we go. And terracotta touches the log, that's fine. Oh. Something like that, but I don't love this corner. I don't know if it's because they match too much or if I would rather this be a log. Oh yeah, it needs to be a log for sure. Okay, let's see, maybe 2 and then 1, just to give that a little bit more curve. Okay, so taking all of it into consideration, it's kind of heavy over here, so I kind of think I want to center something here. That maybe, and then bigger up top. Yeah, maybe that though. And then it's almost like it dripped down. Let's get this. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's a little, maybe a little boxy or something though. Maybe we could break that up like that and not add too much more. Oh yeah. Okay, now I don't really love this spot though, but that's fine. And then we can break up the symmetry of it with the logs. Something like that maybe. Let's just kind of see it go this way. Yeah, something like that. I kind of feel like even from this side, maybe having just a little touch right there wouldn't be bad. Let's just see how we feel about a log or two. Then work our way backwards. And then do a little bit of this. Don't love that. It's a little boxy. Maybe if we just scoot all this over. Something like that. There we go. And these do not match, but they look like they match. There we go. And now that we've got terracotta, we need logs touching those. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, okay. So from this side, what do we think we need? We've got here, and then here, and then here, and then here. So do we need something up high here? I think so. See what we can come up with. Something not a square though. Can't do a square. Although it's gonna look like a square from that angle. Okay, so we need to just pop one more. Do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. A little bit of this section. Really get a lot of different shapes in here now that we can. And maybe that. Have the logs come through here. This also needs to be a log. Yeah, something like that. And we could also probably stand to have a little drop of it here. So let's just see how bad doing even just one would be. Because that kind of propagates out. And we don't want it to be symmetric, so let's try to break that up a little. Yeah, that's fine. And back to the last side. Okay, so we've got terracotta sticking through, so we've got two routes we could go. We could let it taper off over here, or we could saturate it more and then let it taper off. And honestly, there's not a lot going on that side. So if we did saturate it, and then maybe had a little up here, and just let that kind of ooze that way. That looks pretty good. And then I kind of think we need a little something here too, but I don't want to mimic that. So what if we just sort of went off of what was already up here and did that. Let it drip down one. Yeah, I still think it's still gonna be a little plain here though, so let's just pop in a tiny little blob, maybe even just two, and then let's go through and get the terracotta in, see what that looks like. we go. This one, I don't want it to be too straight of a line because we were dealing with that with the heart down there. See what I mean? So let's make sure to make some blobs. Oh, I think that was terracotta. Could probably break it up like that. It's still doing it though. Let's just do that. Okay, yeah, I like that. Now we need the logs here. Something like that. Do the same here. And the same here. Oh wait, no. This needs to be terracotta first. Dang old terracotta. There we go. Now let's do the logs. This actually needs to be terracotta through here too. And then terracotta here, so we gotta have logs. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now it kind of seems like it's time for the bits of pink. Like we can do these little bits and bobs, and then we can start adding in the skulk and amethyst. So the way we've used them in the past was just sort of, honestly, wherever they'll go. Like kind of making it a little messy on purpose. And then we add in the other things. So the solid blocks can stick here at the end. We need this and this. We also need the different amethyst shapes. Let's just stick with these two for now. And every once in a while I add in a shrieker. I don't think I want a shrieker on the temple maybe. Well, at least not yet. Maybe it'll be like the last thing we add. And it looks like the skulk is its own blob system. I know on these, it was part of the original blob system. So we're just gonna go through and figure out where we want some changes of color. Maybe in the middle of the pink, we could do the amethyst. Like that. That seems to be pretty cute. So let's just go through, find the blobs, kind of work in the purple. And they don't have to stick to any strict rules like we did for these. Just sort of aim for the middle and hope for the best. There we go. I really need lights in there. That'll be, we can do that at the end if we still have time. Let's just kinda go for this number here for now, though. Do we like it in the heart? I think so. Kind of breaks up the heart shape a little bit, which it's supposed to be a vague heart, not like, that's a heart. Maybe one more little dot right here. And here. Okay, let's go to the next level. Sort of just pop some in there. There we go. Probably do need some up here. There's only the one pink there, so I'll actually leave that. And we can pop some in there. I went a little skimpy on the pink on this side, so something like that. And that adds in a lot of color. And now what I want to do is go through on those amethyst pieces, and we'll just go ahead and dot in a few of the shapes, these little buds and such. Just to give it a little texture. It doesn't have to be on all of them, but this sort of spawn proofs it. So like this should spawn proof this block and now this block. So that's what I'm going for. And that's kind of the reasoning for all of these bits and bobs. It's just little extra spawn proofing, because stuff can spawn all over this. Boy, does that amethyst sound great. They did a wonderful job designing that. I could just hear that all day. Maybe they do. I'll kind of need one. That's looking pretty good. Let's just add in a couple of these here. Yeah, okay. And now what we can do is figure out where we want the skulk bits, which sometimes are hanging out with the amethyst, but I don't want to break up what I've made in the pink area, so I think I want to break up these larger patches of planks. And we'll just add in a spot and see how we feel about it. Honestly, maybe the temple doesn't need skulk. Maybe it's too pure. I wonder if we could do... Oh, there they are. Would this look crazy? I know I haven't used this block anywhere else over here. But if you're going to switch it up, it might as well be on the temple. No, I don't like that. But we do have other purple options. Well, I was gonna say no to this, but let's just see. Maybe it's just pastel enough to work. Okay, that's not the worst. Maybe though, that's where we could go in with a little more amethyst. I gotta just say, I'm not gonna lie, I think I prefer the planks. Then what we can do is use the bits here, sort of just give them a little something extra. And see, what I was trying to do is use the trap doors as like a way to soften some of these brighter tones. And if I remember right, this entire thing, oops. Oh yeah, it's pressure plates. Most of this is spawn proof. Yeah, see, bud, vein, sensor, vein, pressure plate. So we have to do something on every block up there. Okay, well that kind of skulk isn't horrible, so I don't know. Maybe we do put a little bit. It's kind of subtle. Maybe we just add a couple of amethyst buds around it. So I think what we should do is systematically go through and just kind of place a few things. So I think we could use a little pop of purple through here. So let's just do that. Maybe we do that. And on the next layer, we kind of just do the same thing. Oh, I don't like that though. That's one thing I do remember we had to avoid. We don't want like things flipping around all over the place. I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of, well, let's see. Do we like it? Because I tried the full block and I hated it. Maybe it won't look so bad. Just barely touching the sensors. Welcome back. Oh, that's okay if you have to go for a while too. Today's stream is going to be pretty short. I'm honestly only going to be on for another, like, I'd say like 20 minutes or so. And then I'm hopping off to get some stuff packed up and make sure the house is ready for us to leave and come back to. I don't know if I like the veins. They're kind of aggressive. I think I'm just gonna tuck those away. Yeah, I like it better without the veins for sure. Okay, so where were we? We're somewhere like right here. This one needs something. Let's go here. Thank you. We will do that real quick. Wait, what's up with this button? Anyone else see that? Look at that. Let's see what you got. We will, real quick, we're gonna fly back over to the world of Will Slime. Ta-da. And let's beautify the garden. See what you got. Ooh, a cherry sapling. Nice. Looks like you've got a few trees. You're getting really lucky with the trees. That'll probably grow. Put it back in there. And let it cycle back through. Yeah, you're doing really good with the trees. I think you've got the most. Well, you have some competition, that's for sure. But 2 trees back to back is insane. This one might not grow, but 3 trees back to back, unless you did these. Ooh, yeah, that looks pretty good from here. And I'm glad I don't have any veins and skulk on there. This seems super cute. I mean, I know this is skulk, but it's very subtle. Okay, where were we? We're at... This needs to go, this can stay, and this can stay. Okay. I think we're on the next row. Nope. Something like that. See, the signs are pretty visible, so I like to stagger those a little bit when we can. Something like that, and then I don't like to place anything on the stone. Probably stand to have a little more amethyst and little pops. Something like that. And I think that's got that whole side done. I mean, except for this little edge. Okay, next side. I believe honey is spawn proof. I can't really be sure about that. I'm not sure if the snow rider is actually spawn proofed, but oh well, if a little bit of stuff pops up. What is it gonna do? Blow me up? I'm in creative. Let's see, maybe we do one of these here, here, and here. Center a little bit of this around that. And then yeah, okay. Come through here. Let's see, that could be a little less vibrant. Do that. Okay, and then maybe some buttons here. Pressure plate. Do a sign or two. This one needs something. This one needs something. There we go. So I believe that gets the first 2 lines, 3 lines done. Yeah. So now we need to just make sure we do this one. Something like that. I think that one's done. Whoa, the trap door sort of like inverts this almost. Crazy. I think that row is done, and then last one. We'll just do that. And that's already done. Yeah, second side done. We got about 10 minutes to try to finish this up. Maybe a little bit longer if I'm super close to finishing, but really gonna have to wrap it up early today. Get quite a bit of sculpt on this side. Maybe not that much. Then we can really pop some of these large amethysts around. Then let's pop some of the smaller ones. And then let's go through and spawn proof it. We need a little something, something here. Just do that. That'll match texture there. Nope. Is that a little too heavy on the signage? We'll see. It's pretty heavy. Let's break a little bit of it up. That's better. Okay. Let's go through and just systematically add a few things. Something like that-ish. Kind of cover up some of this terracotta. probably could be putting carpets up here, but I don't have those anywhere else in the town, I don't think, so we'll just call it good with this. Something a bit like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And yeah, I know it's pretty messy, but remember I was saying earlier, this is meant to be a spot where you hunt for Easter eggs. So a lot of texture is a good thing here to really just hide things. So don't judge it too harshly. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. I don't want to rush it, but we do really need to be wrapping this up. Something like that. And then let's go through with the amethyst and just pop it around in spots near the skulk. Something like that. And then go through with the signs. Okay, and then let's go through with the old trusty button, trapdoor, and pressure plate. And one thing I've really found out I like is that. I don't know why, but it's so interesting to me. Something like that. Let's get this ledge while we're here. And these probably do need something on them. What did I do over here? No, there's definitely a couple of spawnable spots with the stone, but we're just gonna have to call that good. I'm not worrying about that right now. something like that. There we go. And then here, of course, ominous noise at the temple every time. Every time I get too close. Gotta love that. And I think we're on the last side, but we still have the top to do. So we probably will go over it just a little bit more than I meant to. Let's get some skull going first. Couple more pops of the amethyst. Ooh, thank you, thank you. I'll do that right away. Didn't realize how thirsty I was. Yeah. Don't litter. Oh, really? Really? Exactly. Excuse you, Nisi. Excuse you. maybe? Just another little pop here and there. Can't do that. And I think all 4 sides are done, and what we can do real quick is try to finish the roof up before we hop off. Start with some skulk around. Something like that. Maybe one more here. And yeah, okay, let's pop some amethyst in then. Out there. Add a couple of them over here. Something like this. Okay, and then we'll go through with the signs since those also need to be kind of layered in. Didn't do anything up here. Something like that, and then do that. A little bit on this side, that one. Maybe this. Okay, so let's do this systematically. We've got here, here. Not a lot of blocks to place left, so this might actually wrap up pretty soon. do up here, pop a little bit of that. I think this side is done too now. So let's go here. This is just about, this side is done. Duh. Okay. No, not there. Maybe a little bit of that. A little bit of that. And a little bit of that. And now let's work on this side. We need just a few buttons, trap doors in different positions, do some pressure plates spread out through here, do some buttons here again, pressure plates, I think that layer should be done. Did I get here? I did not. Okay. Oh, wait, that layer is missing stones. Yeah, there we go. That's why that looked weird. There we go. Believe this layer is done. So let's get our pressure plate back out. Ominous noise. It does kind of sound like turkeys. Minus the crystal sounds. Quite a bit of skulk noises, I know. It's just part of building this structure, though. And I think this side is done. And we've got 2 more sides to go, and then we're gonna go ahead and hop off. Can't do that one. That's why. Let's see. Something like that. We'll go up to the roof. Spawn-proofed all of that already. Something like that. That's good, I think. This side next. Let's just pop that on. Something like that. Last side. You probably could hide a skulk sensor in like a turkey build. That'd be kind of funny for Thanksgiving or something. Is this layer done? I think so. And the last of the last. And I think that's got it. And I do think it looks a lot better. Obviously it's more messy, but again, that's the point for the Easter egg hunt, is to be able to hide stuff up here without it being super visible. Same with all the other houses. Yeah, I think that's got the entire temple. Okay. Let's put our stuff up. Let's take a look at it from down here, maybe. Well, from this angle, we really can't tell a lot of the detail, but let me keep backing up. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, yeah. And most of it unrenders at this point. But that's what the lower texturing is for, the blobs. I think it looks really good. Let's just head on back the long way, get the scenic route. Can't see anything from here. There it is. See, I thought there was a spot over here that looked good. And I love this view. Oh yeah. Nice view here too. Ooh. And I know there's one more view like right here. Aw, yeah. That's pretty nice. So let's go ahead and head back to World of Will Slime. And let's go hang out in the 7-Eleven while we end stream. If you guys want to just stick around for the raid. I don't know who we're going to raid yet. Ding dong. Okay. Give me just a moment and I'll try to get the raid pulled up. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Thank you guys for being here. It was actually really fun doing a voice stream. I was a little worried. Thank you, Heather. I hope you have a good night too. And if you want to show me what you've built, I could probably hang out for like 10 or so minutes after I raid. Give me just a second to see who's online. Oh, what? Okay. I know who we're raiding. I don't know how long they're going to be going, but we have to raid MJ. MJ is awesome. She's super sweet. She's hilarious. Just all around a good person, in my opinion. And she's recently started streaming again. I've really missed our streams, so we're just going to raid in there, hang out for just a second, and see how this goes. Again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, EJ Dalton. Thank you, Nisi. Thank you, Heather. I had a really good time, and I'm glad you made it for my first voice stream, Heather. We'll probably be back next week. I will try to do another voice stream if I don't get too nervous. This actually turned out super well, in my opinion. It was a lot easier to talk to you guys than I was expecting. Thank you, Nisi. Oh yeah, I should probably get the raid message pulled up, huh? I don't have a good way to do this yet, so... Okay, this is the plain one. Just grab that and we're gonna call it good.